Hi everybody, here's chapter 10 from The Natural Speaker 8th edition. So chapter 10 is really kind of wrap up of the whole book, and it says Speaking for Your Lifetime, a Lifelong Journey. I don't know if any of you remember, but in our first class, when I explained the syllabus, I explained to you that you will use public speaking in every aspect of your life, and you do it every day. So this kind of wraps things up. So it starts out on page 159, 2 ways of viewing public speaking. Public speaking never again. Many public speaking students regard their final speech as exactly their final speech. Never again will they have to research a paper, stand before an audience, have to experience those butterflies. Never again will they have to give another speech as long as they live. That is not true, my friends. Hopefully by this time you don't view public speaking as anxiety, fear, and anger, because I believe for the majority of you it's a required course, okay? But it is, I don't want you to look at it as something that's evil. It is something that you have to do. You don't have to love it, but you know how to do it at this point, okay? So Becoming a Speaker, a Lifelong Journey. The book just talks about how there's another way to view your public speaking experience. Hopefully you discovered things about yourself. You learned to listen. Hopefully you felt connected with other people in your class through their self-expression, and there was a whole reason why I chose the speeches that I did. And then on page 160, first off, it talks about impromptu speaking, which for many of you, this is what you will continue to do on a daily basis, and no matter what job you do, your family situation, having to deal with your children's teachers, in every situation, you are actually speaking. It goes into the 1-point impromptu speech. And then it says standard impromptu speeches 2 or more minutes, and it just tells you how to organize those thoughts. And it goes on right through page 163, and then 164, more impromptu. And then on page 165, it talks about special occasion speeches and guidelines for special occasion speeches. The first one, it says be brief. We've talked a lot about that. Have your thoughts clear. That's why I've taught you to do the outline the way that I have, so that your thoughts are clear, concise. You do it and then you leave. Be prepared, obviously, and be heartfelt. Again, deep speaks to deep. I tell you that every single time I meet with you. And then it talks about types of other special occasion speeches. Introducing a speaker, giving a toast, which many of you are kind of, will probably do that at some point. Presenting an award, accepting an award, paying tribute, an after-dinner speech, and a eulogy. Unfortunately, you may have to do that at some point in your life. I had to do that for my grandmother. And then it talks about on page 169, developing the heart of a speaker. Again, this is why I chose this book, because it's more about you being a natural speaker instead of just a technical speaker or speaking, because we can all learn technical things, but we all are capable of being heartfelt as well, okay? On page 169, in the second to the last paragraph, it says, it's not enough to know how to research and organize a speech and deliver it without passing out from fright. You must possess an attitude or heart that communicates a positive message to the minds and hearts of your listeners. How does a speaker do this? Are some people born with the right attitude and others are not? What are the ingredients that make for this kind heart? Well, hopefully I'm hoping that I taught you to do this, because you talked quite a bit about yourselves, and hopefully that put you in touch with your inner self. On page 170, it says the speaker needs to love the topic, and this could not be more true. I know that I gave you lots of topics that you either loved, didn't love, but that was part of the training process. But that is why when I told you to pick out a topic for your final, that have at least one person in the group that loved what they were going to talk about and were passionate about it. And then it says the speaker needs to love the audience. You do need to love the audience. However, there may be situations like political stuff where that's not so. And the speaker needs to love himself or herself. We all need to do that. So that kind of concludes Chapter 10. It's kind of an overview of everything that I asked you to do and tried to stress to you over these past few weeks. And so the areas where you really want to focus for the test are Lesson 1, 10.1, the 2 ways of viewing public speaking, and then impromptu speaking, which is a big portion of this chapter, and then 10.4, special occasion speeches, and 10.5, developing the heart of a speaker. And that's really about it. Really the special occasion speeches and the impromptu speaking. So that kind of wraps up Chapter 10, and I hope this is useful. All right.